Hello and welcome to this broadcast of Martindale Digital Live. I'm Richard Martindale and I want to talk to you today about some of the new updates to LinkedIn that you can use for your law firm marketing. There have been two primary updates that have been really good for attorneys and law firms that you can use on LinkedIn with regard to marketing that I want to specifically focus on. Obviously, these platforms are always updating themselves. They're, updating software, the features and benefits that they add to their platforms to, hope that their users, being you as an attorney or law firm, if you're using LinkedIn, if you have a LinkedIn profile, they obviously want you to be on their platform more, but also using it to promote your law firm and your legal practice. So today I want to show you a couple great features that have just recently been added. I mean, one of these just as recently as last week. And I want to give you this information right up to date so you can start using it for your law firm and your legal practice to start getting more of those ideal clients that we love talking about. Now, if you aren't familiar a lot with LinkedIn and the LinkedIn features, obviously LinkedIn kind of started out initially as a job posting kind of site where people were posting their resumes, posting information about themselves, looking for jobs. But obviously, with the development and maturity of social media, we'll call it, LinkedIn has been really a leader with regard to business to business lead generation and business for your law firm. So if you're a law firm that specifically focuses on the B2B, environment with regard to, let's say you're a corporate attorney and you deal with maybe small businesses and corporations in your area and helping them with, setting up the corporations or just being outside general counsel, different things like that. You want to make sure you're on LinkedIn, but also use it to the maximum effect so that you're getting the most out of what you're doing online. That's what we always teach you for attorneys and law firms at Martindale Digital. I am a practicing attorney, been an attorney for over 25 years. Well, I guess almost 25 years. I'm in my 25th year. And I've been a legal marketing expert also online for over 10 years. And so I want to give you the most up-to-date information. So just first off, right off the bat, if you haven't subscribed to our LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile, you can find me, Richard Martindale, on LinkedIn. We also have a Martindale Digital LinkedIn page where you can go and follow us there, where we provide updated information about everything with regard to digital marketing for your law firm. But also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you may be watching this video on YouTube today, or if you're on Facebook or maybe even Twitter, follow me on those platforms and like our page. You'll get notices and information when we go live so that you can get the most up-to-date information. Make sure you're implementing it for your law firm. But let's dive into these two main LinkedIn changes that I want to talk to you about today. Let me make my slide a little bigger here so you can get the full effect. And it's always fun with StreamYard, which is the platform that we use for live streaming. You can do a lot of the branding and things like that, but oftentimes if it's blocking your view or you want to take it down, you can always play around with that. So if you haven't used StreamYard too, check the links below the video on YouTube especially, and we provide you with links where you can have free trials to a number of the softwares that we use. But StreamYard, I just love it, so I hope you'll use it too if you're doing live streams for your law firm. But with regard to LinkedIn changes, as I said, two big updates that have happened in May and June. One, as I told you, right as recently as last week. But they're great with regard to marketing. So the first one, which actually happened in May, was LinkedIn polls for your posts. So you can see here an example that I screenshot of a poll that I just put up on my LinkedIn profile probably 30, 45 minutes ago and took a screenshot of it just a couple minutes later. But it's an example of something that you can do to poll your ideal clients, the people who are following you online, or even, people who you want to be following you. You can make the poll and the post, visible to anybody on LinkedIn, whether they follow you or not. And as you can see in my poll that I put up, I used hashtags at the bottom, right here at the bottom. If you can, I'm not sure you can see my cursor that's moving around, but basically at the bottom in the light blue, you can see the hashtags that I use. So if people are searching for LinkedIn on things like legal marketing or lawyer or attorney, then hopefully this poll and this post will show up in their searches, and then they can go and maybe, click on the answer that fits most for them. This poll in particular was one with regard to LinkedIn or legal marketing, where I just asked the question, what's the biggest source for your new clients that you get for your law firm? And so, if you happen to be watching this, jump over on LinkedIn and, click your answer. I'd love to hear what you have to say, get some feedback from lots of attorneys and law firms so we can see, what's the biggest source where you get your new clients that come in for your law firm and new business for your firm. But if you're a corporate attorney, you can ask lots of questions and you can find out from your followers and people who are your ideal client what is interesting to them. And if you have questions that you're wanting to know from your audience, you can put these out on LinkedIn and get feedback from your followers and your audience. And that gives you information on how you should be able to run your law firm and maybe how to target your ideal client. Because obviously you want to know what's in the mind of your ideal client. And if you don't have one sitting right in front of you, other ways that you can do it are through using posts like this and polls that ask for feedback or just ask questions continually to try to get more information that helps you in your law firm marketing. So think about that with regard to LinkedIn polls and use those for posts. It's not like when you're kind of in high school or elementary school where you're just taking a quiz. Try to make it as fun as possible. As you see in my post, I put up that this is a not so scientific poll, just trying to get feedback, trying to get engagement, trying to get information from attorneys and law firms. But the other feature that just rolled out last week is LinkedIn retargeting on videos. Now, if you think about this, we've talked about retargeting on other videos, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link up in the top of this video where it will reference back to another video with regard to retargeting on Facebook. But this is now specific to LinkedIn and retargeting on videos. Now, you think about who do you want to serve and your ideal client. Now, think about if you could retarget, and I'll go back to the previous slide, but if you are identifying your ideal client and you can get them to watch videos that you're putting out in your posts, then you can actually retarget those people using paid advertising to actually feed them and get them more of your content and more of your ads. Now, maybe a little hard to think about, terms like retargeting and, advertising that you might not be familiar with or you might not have done with regard to your law firm. But let me just stop the screen and share with you my other screen, and I'll show you on the blackboard again a little bit more about retargeting. And if you've watched some of my previous videos, I love the blackboard. It's an ability to kind of draw out for you in a picture form what's going on with regard to retargeting. So let's think about from a standpoint of first, let's put it in green is your ideal client. So we're coloring them green because, they're the ones that bring you the money. So you've got your ideal client here who you're trying to attract to your law firm. I'm looking over at my screen to making sure this is coming through, and it is. So if you have your ideal client, And let's say you put up a post on LinkedIn about your law firm, and it can be just a regular post, but it's a video post. So let's say you created a video maybe about what's going on in your firm. Maybe you do a weekly webinar, broadcast just like this over live stream, but you can take those videos and turn them into posts to inform your ideal client. So let's say your ideal client, they're on their computer, which I'm not the best artist, but they're on their computer. They actually see your video. So we've got video going on here, and this is a LinkedIn post. So then let's say they watch your video. Let's say they only even watched 25% of your video, or maybe 50% of your video, or maybe they watch 100% of your video. What you can do is you can basically create ads. Then you've got these pool of people. So let's say you run an ad and you advertise on LinkedIn. So we've got LinkedIn, and you can run an ad to retarget, meaning this client watched the video, and then that if they watched 25%, it put them into this pool of people. And then you can then run a retargeting ad, meaning you're taking those pool of people and you're retargeting them with another ad on LinkedIn, and you can show them an ad for your law firm. Maybe this video was something about what's going on with regard to changes in the corporate law in your jurisdiction. Maybe you're in California or something like that, and there are changes going on, and you're giving a video to update people about the changes, and you get 25%. And then you have another pool of people, maybe watch 50%. You can have either the same ad or a different ad that runs to those people. And then if somebody watched 100%, they're your hottest audience. So you could potentially, again, run the same ad, or maybe you have different ads that you run to the 100% people because they've watched the whole thing. They're more engaged, they're more involved, they have all the information. You could then run another ad to them to retarget them and maybe bring them more information through that advertisement about your law firm, then with a link where they could sign up on your firm and you can get them as an ideal client. So that's where you want to be thinking. And that's why it's so powerful to think about with regard to now what you can do on LinkedIn that you previously could do on Facebook and some other platforms. But you can think about who you want to serve. And let's go back to the presentation so you can see that again. But you think about, who is it that you want to serve? Your ideal client. You give them value through videos and posts on your LinkedIn page. And then as they engage with your posts, you use LinkedIn's artificial intelligence to then be able to grab those people into groups and retarget them. And then you can serve up ads just for them. And as we said, even different segments of depending on how much of the video that they watched, but you can serve up ads just to them and get them back in to be actual paying clients. So those are two big updates that have happened on LinkedIn recently. I hope you will take this information and put it to good use with regard to your law firm marketing and making sure that your law firm is using these updates and changes with regard to getting in new ideal clients for your firm and getting in more revenues and more business. By the way, if you're interested in a resource that we have with regard to how to identify your ideal client, I also have put out a resource previously in some videos, but I'll drop a link for you right now on this video here on this live stream. So you can go to that website, www.martdig.com/ideal client. There's a great resource there that you can use to identify. It's a workbook that walks you through questions that you can answer to really identify and get some details on who your ideal client is. Then turn and use those tactics that we just talked about and these new features on LinkedIn to talk to your ideal client, ask them questions, poll them, and then use videos and content to retarget them and serve up ads that will make them paying clients for you, which adds to your bottom line and more revenues. That's the end of the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said before, if you haven't subscribed to whatever platform you're watching it on, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any of the above, follow us online and you'll get this information and this updated information, because these platforms are always changing, and Martindale Digital and myself, Richard Martindale, we're always here for the attorneys and law firms to help keep you up to date and make sure your law firm marketing is optimal and ready to go. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a blessed day.